Welcome back, everyone, to the Language of Leadership. I'm your host, Chuck Marting, and I'm thrilled to have you join me today as we dive into one of the most fundamental yet challenging topics in leadership, integrity. If you have ever wondered what separates good leaders from great ones, this episode is for you. Integrity, it just isn't a buzzword. It's the foundation upon which all true leadership is built. So today we're going to draw inspiration from some of the most influential voices in leadership and personal growth. Leaders like Andy Frisella, Ed Mylett, John C. Maxwell, Dr. David L. Cook, Burt Goldman, Lewis Howes, and even Brant Hansen. Their insights and stories will guide us as we explore how integrity shapes mental toughness and leadership. And by the end of this episode, I hope you'll not only have a deeper understanding of integrity, but also feel empowered to live it out in your life as a leader. So stick around because we've got an unforgettable ending that might just inspire you to share this episode with everyone you know. So let's start off with that simple but powerful question. What is integrity? I think Andy Frisella puts it perfectly when he says, integrity is doing the right thing even when no one is looking. It's easy to talk about values when the spotlight is on us. But what about the moments when no one's watching? Those are the moments that define who we truly are. John C. Maxwell, in his book, The 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, teaches us that integrity is the foundation of trust. So without trust, there can be no leadership. And John writes, people will forgive occasional mistakes based on ability, especially if they see that you are still growing, but they won't trust someone who lacks integrity. And then there's Brant Hansen, whose perspective on integrity reminds us that grace is needed in leadership. He suggests that integrity is not just about morality, but also about transparency and humility. In his book, Unoffendable, Brant shares how living authentically allows leaders to connect deeply with their teams. A real life example comes to mind with Ed Mylett. Early in his career, Ed faced a situation where he was pressured to compromise his values to close a deal. Instead of giving in, he stood firm, knowing that short-term gains could never outweigh long-term integrity. That decision not only earned him respect, but also solidified his reputation as a trustworthy leader. Let's talk about integrity and mental toughness. Integrity isn't just about doing what's right. It's about having the mental toughness to stick to your principles when the pressure is on. Andy Frisella emphasizes this in his teachings on mental toughness. His 75 Hard program is a testament to the power of integrity in personal commitments. That program demands daily discipline. You have to follow through no matter what. It's not about the external results. It's about proving to yourself that you can stay true to your word. Dr. David L. Cook, a renowned performance psychologist, echoes this sentiment. He shares that mental discipline is rooted in inner honesty. In high pressure situations like those faced by elite athletes or even top executives, it's integrity that keeps them grounded and keeps them focused. So let me share a story from Lewis Howes. He's the host of the podcast, The School of Greatness. Lewis once talked about a time when he faced a tough decision: betray his values for a lucrative opportunity or walk away. He chose the latter. And while it was a difficult path, it reinforced his belief that success built on a shaky foundation will always crumble. His integrity became his greatest asset. There's definitely a ripple effect of integrity in leadership. When you lead with integrity, the impact doesn't stop with you. It creates that ripple effect that influences everyone around you. Burt Goldman, often referred to as the American monk, he teaches authenticity is like a magnet. When people see you living out your values, they are inspired to do the same. Brant Hansen shared a moving story about a colleague who faced immense pressure to falsify a report. Instead of giving in, he stood firm, even when it meant risking his job. His courage not only preserved his integrity, but it also inspired the entire team to prioritize honesty over convenience. As leaders, our actions set the tone for those we lead. If we want to build teams that trust each other and work together effectively, we have to model the behavior we expect. Integrity isn't just a personal virtue, it's a leadership superpower. So, how do you lead with integrity? Now that we understand the importance of integrity, let's talk about how to live it out. So, Andy Frisella offers practical advice on this as well. Create accountability systems to keep yourself on track. Surround yourself with people who will call you out when you deviate from your values. Ed Mylett, in his book Max Out Your Life, includes a chapter on building trust and credibility. He advises leaders to consistently align their actions with their words. Even small discrepancies can erode trust, so it's crucial to stay vigilant. So here are some actionable steps to strengthen your integrity as a leader. 1, self-reflection. You have to take time each day to assess whether your actions align with your values. My good friend Cliff Ravenscraft has taught me many things over the years, but the importance of journaling and documenting your progress and referring back to it as often as you can to encourage you to continue your growth and your example has been a life-changing thing for me in learning how to channel my integrity. Number 2, transparency. Be open about your decisions, even if it's uncomfortable. Number 3, consistency. Build habits that reinforce your commitment to integrity, like setting clear boundaries and sticking to them. So before we wrap up, let's recap some of the key takeaways in this episode. Integrity is the cornerstone of leadership. It's not just about doing what's right, it's about having the courage to stay true to your principles, even if you face adversity. We've learned from Andy Frisella, Ed Mylett, John C. Maxwell, and others that integrity isn't just a personal choice. It's a leadership necessity. Now, I have been thinking, contemplating, discussing, and even learning more and more about this topic. I've seen and experienced the good, the bad, the ugly when it comes to integrity. I've witnessed moments of profound selflessness that remind me of the immense potential of human character. But I've also been stunned and heartbroken by instances where individuals who once seemed to embody integrity succumbed to the corrosive forces of selflessness and greed. These experiences have taught me that integrity is not a static trait, but a dynamic journey, one that requires constant vigilance, self-awareness, and an unwavering commitment to values. It's a choice we make every single day, and it's the essence of who we are as leaders and human beings. So I want to leave you with a powerful quote from John C. Maxwell. A leader with integrity will not be deviated from doing what is right, even when it's hard. So let me share one final story with you that ties this all together. Burt Goldman once spoke about a mentor who taught him the importance of integrity through action. This mentor faced tremendous opposition by staying true to his values, and in doing so, he changed countless lives for the better. That is the power of integrity. Now, here's my challenge to you. Reflect on your own integrity. Where can you improve? What actions can you take today to lead with greater authenticity? Share this episode with someone who inspires you to be better. And let's spread the message that integrity is not a negotiable in leadership. Remember, leadership begins with a choice. So choose integrity. I'm Chuck Marting, and this is the language of leadership. And until we meet next week with another episode for you, take care.